All right, so 13.4, evaluate
I forgot who it was for a second.
inverse trig functions. So in the super fun, interesting conversation video that y'all got to listen to.
There was something interesting when you were talking about. I can't remember what it is now.
This thing is
Talk
gonna
about
just...
like carpets, white carpets in kitchens, like getting.
I don't even remember that conversation.
You know who I heard above everyone?
Hope.
Hope.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, so inverse trig functions, okay, so you should have seen this, okay, just to kind of explain, since there was, some distractions in that video apparently. For sine, it can only occur on the right-hand side, okay, of this, okay, in the shaded area. It goes from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Okay, so you can never have a bigger value than pi over 2. It's just either positive or negative. Okay. For cosine, and this will make more sense when we start actually doing problems. If it sounds confusing now, it will make more sense. For arc cosine, okay, inverse cosine, okay, a lot of times I'm going to say arc and then whatever. It means the same thing as inverse. It's written the same, well, it just ARC instead of the little -1. But anyways, it means the same thing for all practical purposes. Don't tell my college math professors. Anyways, but 0 to pi or 0 to 180 degrees, okay, so it's the top half of it. And you'll see more, again, why when we start doing examples with why it looks like this, and it'll actually start to logically make sense. And then for inverse tangent, arc tangent, it is still on the right side. So sine and tangent, right side, cosine is the top. Okay? Stop. Okay. Anyways, I'm leaving that up so that if we need to jump back to it, we can. So let's start looking at some examples. We're gonna do... I realized if I put my old notes up there, I can see what problems I want to cover and make sure I cover them all. And then I don't have to, try to look at it on this little tiny thing because, it just makes life a little bit easier. And that's why my magic mouse is over here and all that fun stuff. So,
Found a loophole.
Makes life a little bit easier. All right, so the first ones are to evaluate without a calculator. Do y'all think it's hot?
It's a little cold. It's a little warm.
Can you, it's behind your head, can you take it and push that thingy straight up and down or a little bit to the left?
I feel like it's the perfect.
That's good, thanks.
It's
It's a little toasty up here, so I was like,
It is a little toasty. I'm also gonna hoodie though. So.
yeah,
It's
well,
normal
yeah.
for you.
I felt the air come on, so that's good.
His
I
you
think
feel
it's
his
always
hands
the
are
same thing
ice
with you.
cold all the time.
Yeah.
Mine are
Sometimes
always
my
cold.
That's
hands
how
are
you
warm,
know.
sometimes
Mine
they're
too.
cold.
Mine are hot right now, but anyways. Okay.
All
right.
Why are your fingers so cold?
So we're going to start with number 4, okay, which is the arctangent of -1.
Sorry, don't know.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to pull some. I found it.
Okay.
Okay,
Good job.
so arctangent of -1. So we're going to go to our lovely unit circle.
What was it? Tan negative 1 of what?
It was the arctangent of -1.
So that would be...
Okay, but hold on. Let me explain why things only occur on part of it, okay? Where, in general, is the tangent equal to -1? How many places?
2.
2 of them. So that would mean, there's 2 answers, right? Or you would think there's 2 answers.
You would think.
Not.
You would think, but there's only one because tangent only occurs where?
On the left. I mean the right.
The right.
I can't tell my right from my left.
Okay, tangent only occurs on the right-hand side. Okay, So we're looking for where tangent is equal to -1 on the right-hand side. You may at first glance think that the answer is 7 pi over 4. But what did we talk about the values for tangent? They have to be between what?
Pi over 2 or negative pi over 2.
Okay, pi over 2 or negative pi over 2. So this would be what? An equivalent if I'm working backwards.
Over 4.
Yeah.
Okay, negative pi over 4.
Oh. I
Wait,
get
why?
it.
I need you to explain that again.
Please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I so get it.
I don't.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
so, okay. We're just going to do this so that I can mark on it if I want to.
Don't complain about me not knowing how to do
Okay.
that. Yes, you were.
So we're looking for where tangent is equal to -1. Okay, that
On
happens.
the right hand side though.
That happens here.
Yeah.
That's not. Okay, hold on. Let's do it with highlighter. That happens here.
I just can't see it.
That happens on this line here. And that also happens down here. Okay? That's where tangent's equal to -1. Because that's what really we're asking is where is tangent equal to -1? We're doing the opposite. So normally we're saying, okay, the tangent of 7 pi over 4 is equal to -1. Now we're saying when tangent's equal to -1, what is the angle value? Okay, so we're trying to find the angle now instead of the actual value.
So it has to
So
be
how
in
does that make
pi over 2 to negative pi over 2.
So then what's really happening is that down here, we're saying that that is not what is okay. I'm just gonna use blue and we're just gonna have to deal with it. Negative pi over 2 is down here.
Oh, I guess I
Okay. And then pi over 2 is up here at the top. So I'm only on this side. So I count by negative. So this would be negative pi over 6, negative pi over 4, negative pi over 3, and negative pi over 2. So these are the only values that it can take on.
I thought it had to be between negative pi over 2
Pi
and
over
negative pi over 2. Because isn't.
It is. Negative pi over 2 is down here.
Oh, I'm slow.
And then we go all the way up around to pi over 2.
Yeah, my
So for tangent, these are the negative tangent, and then it's also going to be the same for sine, because sine also occurs on the right-hand side. Okay? So we treat it as the negative values below. Okay, so tangent is -1 down here. Okay? So where that's equal to -1 is at this negative pi over 4, and it also asks for it in degrees. So it's also at 315 degrees, but
It has to be
negative.
it's got to be
45.
negative. So we're going to call that -45
Okay.
Why are we calling that negative 45?
for the same reason. It's got to be between -90 and +90.
Well, then why in the example video we kept 7 pi over 4 and then we kept 315? Not the example video, the notes.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we didn't. And then for like number 10, I think it was 2 pi over 6 or 120 degrees.
Were there examples in that video?
There were evaluate without a calculator. It's the same question. Number 4, tangent of arc. What, I don't know how to say it. And then -1.
I don't know, but that's wrong.
It's because of all those kids talking.
Yeah, probably. I think what happened was, I think I remember that. I think what happened was I did that initially, and then after the video was over, or like the next day we were doing something else, and I was like, guys, that's wrong, because I went back and like looked at what it's supposed to be. So it should be this negative pi over 4 and negative 45.
Okay. Don't trust the videos.
So there's 2 answers to these times.
Yes, because they want it in radians and degrees.
Can't trust the internet.
Huh?
Can't trust the internet.
Yeah, you know. I need to make a new video for
So
that.
you can't. So since it's on the right, tangent's always on the right. You can have like tangent equals 1. Like what is tangent to 1? Because that would be on the left side.
right there.
Or wait.
It occurs
Oh, no,
twice.
that isn't. Never mind.
They have a
Everything
positive and negative.
occurs twice
Yeah.
on the unit circle. So that's why we limit to where it can be. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just
Okay. So then with number 6, okay, the cosine, arc cosine of -2. Now with this one, is -2 a value that we
No.
have for cosine? No.
No.
Okay, it's not existent on the unit
So
circle,
why
so
do
we
you
call it
do that?
undefined.
Oh, yay.
Sweet.
So why do you have to put the -1 after the cosine and the tangent?
It's the arc.
It means arc or inverse.
Or
It's asking for two different things. Alright, so the number 8 is the arc sine of 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to go, where did we say sine occurs?
On the
X
right.
value?
on the right.
Oh, yeah.
Same
Okay.
standard.
Also on the right, so I'm going to get rid of this stuff that I wrote on here. Minus the negative values. I'm going to leave those for the moment. Okay. So, here, let me go ahead and write in these negative degree values. So -30, -45, -60, and then -90. Okay, just so you have all those values. Okay, so sine also occurs on the right. So where is sine equal to 1/2?
In
Right
like
hand
two
three,
places.
pi,
Okay.
pi over 3.
5 over 3, 5 over 6.
Actually, no, that's
Y value
No.
equal to 1/2.
The y value. So yeah, it's only pi over 6.
yeah.
Okay, so in reality, it occurs here, okay? Okay, it's gonna zoom with my hands. Okay, it occurs in these two places, right? But we can only use the right-hand side because it also occurs at 5 pi over 6. Okay, we're only using the right-hand side. So we're looking at pi over 6, okay, and 30 degrees.
Wow.
Oh, I get it now.
Those are good though, right? You don't have to.
Correct, those ones are good. And the cosine ones are the easiest because you don't have to do anything to them. Because they're just 0 to 180 or 0 to pi.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I guess I need to put up another problem first before I go back to the unit circle. Number 10. The arc cosine of -1/2.
Number 6.
Okay, so arc cosine of -1/2. Okay, cosine occurs where?
X. Oh wait, I mean on the top.
X.
Okay, cosine is the x value. I think that's what you're trying to say. It occurs on the top. Okay, so I want the cosine value being -1/2. Okay, so I want my x value being -1/2. Where's that?
2 pi over 3.
Okay, 2 pi over 3. It also occurs at 4 pi over 3. Okay, however, we only want the ones on top, so I'm looking for this one,
And then 120 degrees.
and then this degree value. So 2 pi over 3 or 120 degrees.
I'm understanding.
Simple enough. And then it's just gonna take a whole lifetime. And it's just gonna be super hard out
Wait,
of nowhere.
Can't.
Oh. That's probably how it's gonna be, can't she? Is that?
Wait, can it stay like that?
Yeah, because for cosine it's 0
Yeah,
to
'cause
180,
cosine's the
so
top.
It's all positive.
Oh. So those always just stay.
Yeah, that's why I said cosine's the easiest
Why
ones.
do they always just stay?
Because you've got the values where they occur. Cosine values match up with something on the bottom. And just the parameters that they put on cosine are 0 to 180
Okay.
Or 0 to pi.
or 0 to pi in the radians situation. That's why sine and tangent, they're not hard. It's just different because you have to think about the bottom as being negative values. So, okay.
This is good.
On future quizzes and the tests in this chapter, do we still have to write out our own unit circle?
But it'll be extra credit every time.
Oh.
So it's an extra point per
But
quadrant
didn't
every
you
time.
say, like, next chapter or something? you wanted
Chapter
to do?
14, I give you one. All right.
Jake, what's this word ball, Jake? What?
What?
And also, just in case anybody decides that they're going to try to get smart because I, like, gave you a copy of the unit circle after, if you hand me your unit circle and you haven't, like, filled it in, I'm not giving you one.
What?
Like, if you try, like yesterday, I told you that you could, like, bring up your unit circle and I would check it, and then I gave you one, like, to use. I gave you one of mine. If you, like, decide that you're going to try to get smart and bring me, like, an empty unit circle and expect me to just hand you one, I'm not going to do that. You have to have, like, at least attempted the unit circle.
Why
Like,
did you not attempt
No,
credit?
dude.
believe me, people don't, and I never understand. I don't understand why people don't do the Versum challenge. Like, it's 4 free points on a test, and most people don't do it.
It's not even that
Really?
hard.
I do it every
The
day.
verses and stuff are not even that long.
Wait, was that for a quiz or is that for the test?
Test.
That's like extra credit, yeah. For the test.
Last time.
All right, I'm gonna do number 11 really quick, just because it's a multiple choice question. The arc cosine of root 2 over 2.
Can we have multiple choice on your test?
Oh, you don't want.
You say they're bad.
You don't want my multiple
I
choice.
actually want it. Like,
You should give us like one.
I learned from my dad's multiple choice when he was a teacher. The kids were like, Mr. Earhart, we want a multiple choice test. And he says, no, you don't. And they said, yes, we do. Multiple choice tests are easier. So it was like the size of a raindrop, right? This was it was a science class he was teaching. So the options were 0.5, 0.05, 0.005, or 0.0005.
They asked
Can you-
Whereas I had teachers when I was in like 6th and 7th grade who would put, the answer was supposed to be, what was the dog's name in the book? And it was like McDonald's, Burger King, Dairy Queen, or Max.
Oh, yeah.
They thought he was going to give them multiple choice like that. But in reality, he gave them multiple
I would
choice.
say,
that
could you,
was
like, give
easily
us
be like the
one-
other.
could be
give
anything.
Us, like one on a test or a quiz.
like biology
maybe
test
for extra credit.
The, 15A
No.
and B for the multiple choice. He said, "What is the study of animals?" And she put animanology.
What animanology?
Animanology. I swear, probably someone put that. Someone probably circled
Animal-
Probably.
it.
All right. Cosine being root 2 over 2 occurs where?
Ooh. It
3
occurs
pi over
pi over 4.
Okay, at pi over 4 and 45 degrees.
Wait. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm correct.
Yeah. 45 degrees.
All right, the next ones you get to use your calculators for.
I don't really
Is
know
that
how to
easier?
do
hard.
it, though.
That means.
That means it's kind of more
Yeah.
difficult.
How much space do we need on our paper now?
I mean, each one's only going to be like a line.
I don't know if I'm
Okay.
All right, so with these, okay, you need to do them in both degrees and radians still.
Or so you have to like switch the
Mode.
Okay, before we start, look at your calculators. Okay, you should see a button that says sine, a button that says cosine, and a button that says tangent. Notice that what it says above them
Is the -1.
has the -1. That's what you need. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to list off all 4 problems that we're going to do on the calculator. Okay? And then we're going to do all of them while they're in degree mode and then all of them in radian mode so that we're not switching back and forth every problem because that's just obnoxious. Okay.
Right, that is obnoxious.
So we're going to do 12, which is the arc sine of 0.18. 14, and I'm just going to write degrees first, then radians beside it. 14 is the arc cosine of 0.36. 16 is the arc tangent of minus 0.75. And 18 is the arc sine of 0.8. Okay. Now, if you haven't figured this out by now, you could not do these problems without a calculator.
They're not on the
Oh, for sure.
bang thing.
Can't.
Okay, we're gonna say everything just for consistency to 2 decimal places. Last year I did apparently decimal or degrees to 1 and radians to 2, and that's just crazy. So we're just gonna say 2 for everything.
So like, is it possible to have like cosecant and secant arc? Like, is that like arc
Not in this class.
Okay. Like,
What class?
but it's possible.
I mean,
Like, do you do it in
yes,
other
you would have to
classes?
do it. Well, yeah, but you'd have to do it like as treating it as a sine, cosine, or tangent, but like 1 over those things. But we don't do that in here.
I was just wondering. Like,
No, we don't do that in here.
It's 10.37.
Are you in degree mode?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody check your mode. Mine
Okay.
was in radian, so
So
make
mine's
sure
in
you're in
second.
degree mode. Okay, you hit second and then whatever button you're dealing with. Okay, and you said that one is what?
10.37.
Alright, so 10.37. Do not forget to put the degree symbol on it.
It's a degree.
That'd be,
Oh.
will you take off points?
Yes.
Yeah, then they don't.
Because then I don't know which one's which.
10.37
Come
apples.
Or
Giraffes,
oranges.
Like
Donuts.
10.37.
Wait, I don't
bacon.
want 0.37.
I don't know here.
You want 0.37 of a donut?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
Well, that's like 10 and then 1/3 of a donut.
Yeah.
Alright, what's 14 in degrees?
68.90 degrees. Because then you have rounding. It does confuse me sometimes.
I had to think about it like really hard.
I'm just like,
36.87.
Oh.
bruh, can you not?
Bro, don't even,
You
Josh. You literally do
stole-
that
you
every
literally
time.
stole
I have a
I
question.
got an error.
I got negative 36.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
I literally
that's
got an
all.
error.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I-
Oh, it's negative. Shoot.
Did David, did you use the negative sign or did you use the minus sign?
I used the negative sign.
The one that's at the bottom.
I used the minus sign.
That's why. For some reason, the calculators are smart, but they're not smart enough to know the difference between a negative sign and a minus sign.
Oh god.
I don't know why there's not just. Well, actually, I do have this like fancy like new calculator that's supposed to be like the new age calculator, anyways, and it only has 1 button for that.
Really? So it just knows?
Yeah, it's a really fancy calculator.
Oh.
I love that it has to be like a really top of the line calculator to know the difference.
It really does. It's like an app, like it's like a phone. It's anyways. I'll show it to you in a minute. All right, what's the next one?
Future.
53.13 degrees.
Say 1/3.
All right, so now switch your calculator to radian mode.
Yeah, no.
What do you mean? Oh, I pushed second mode, so it was just quit every time.
So, this
Second.
time
I was like,
it's
why is it
second
not working?
sign.
It's 8.
I must have
It's
done
0.18.
Yes.
What? What are you talking about?
The first one.
Yeah,
It's literally.
Oh, we're just doing the
0.36.
same ones again. Oh.
Yeah, you're doing them in radians. What'd you say?
1.20.
The other one is
Don't you
0.64.
Are you sure?
Negative.
That.
Where's my negative symbol?
That's not what I got. What did I do?
That's what the answer should be.
Wait.
Oh.
Where's negative?
Because I forgot to put the
Negative's
decimal.
on the
And
bottom.
then the other one is
It's in the
9.3.
Yes, but which one?
The
The other one's
parentheses.
9.3.
Yeah.
Wait.
0.93.
Let me see
0.9.
this
Gosh. I can't like read.
one. Really?
That's
It's
how
like
I
you
feel.
see it, but then it doesn't come out like
Yeah.
how you see it.
Where's the negatives?
I feel like that every day. I can't speak English sometimes.
Right, that's my first language.
At this point,
Oh,
it
there's
probably
negative.
is.
I found my negative.
You found, yay. It should be the
Like
one
the
with
decimal.
parentheses. Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna do one example
I thought
to
you said
preface what we're gonna do
parentheses.
tomorrow. That's a massive umbrella.
What's the massive? Why did you keep
Sorry.
carrying around the
Because it's
Random
going to
squirrel.
rain.
we're right. We're back.
That's so massive.
We're inside. You don't
Alright, example.
right?
Solve the equation. Okay, this is gonna lead into what we're doing tomorrow.
Wait.
This is the hardest thing in this section.
Oh, so this is still 13.4?
How much space do I need?
Okay, so we don't need the.
No, 13.5 you don't need till 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines.
Okay, yeah.
6 lines? Okay, I got it.
That's not bad.
Alright, so solve the equation. The problem is sine of theta is equal to negative 5 over 8, where 180 degrees is less than theta is less than 270 degrees.
Is that legal?
No, it's not. But we do it anyway.
Okay, so I would like to know what quadrant does this occur in?
That occurs in quadrant 3.
Yeah.
In
Three.
between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
It's just quadrant.
Okay? It occurs in quadrant 3. So, I'm going to draw a little graph over here. Okay, I'm going to write stuff beside it. That's why I said 6 lines. I'm just putting this over here. Okay, it occurs in quadrant 3. Okay, between 180 and 270 degrees. So, that tells me that it occurs down here. I'm trying to solve for theta. Okay, solve the equation. I guess I should specify for theta. The instructions, oh no, I guess they do technically say for theta. Anyway, solve the equation for theta. So, to get theta where I want it, I'm going to have to take the inverse sine. Okay? Sine only occurs where?
Right side.
On the right side. So, I need this equivalent over here.
L.
Oh my.
So how do we get it?
Okay? If I want to undo sine, the inverse means
Negative.
opposite of sine. So I'm going to take the inverse sine.
The arc sine?
The arc.
Yes, arc inverse, whatever. Of negative 5 over 8. In degree mode, because this is specified to be in degrees here.
Ooh, gosh.
Okay? And then I want you to tell me what that gives you.
Negative 0.68.
Degree
Just
mode.
write it as negative 5 divided by 8, right?
Degree
Oh,
mode.
degree. I don't know why.
Negative
Degree mode.
38.68.
That is not what I
Okay. Negative 38.68.
Oh, 38. Okay,
Let's
I
go.
said 80.
I
I
did
got the
something
right one.
right.
Okay. Now, is this value between 180 degrees and 270 degrees?
No.
No. So I need to do something to it.
Add 360. I don't know.
Add 360.
Nope, because that's just going to put me right back in the same spot.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That's the 360.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 180 minus
Oh.
negative 38.68 degrees. Okay, double negative means make them positive. So what does that equal to?
Ooh, it equals 218.68
I said it faster.
degrees.
Oh, you didn't say the degrees though, did you?
Got him.
Degrees.
I was looking at something because on my the one I did last year it looks like a 5 instead of a 1. That's why I was like, huh? But
That
that's
was a
right.
5. Wait.
Okay, now you can check these problems to make sure you've done them correctly. It's a wonderful thing, right?
Sometimes.
So we're going to check it. Okay. To do that, we're going to take the sine of 218.68 degrees. And you're going to tell me what that's equal to.
No, wait. Degrees mode.
Yes.
Negative 0.62.
degree.
That's not degrees. It's a
You
value.
got it wrong.
Just a value.
You still got it wrong.
Now,
Is it 6 3
I
or
want
6?
you to divide
How's it possible? What?
or to figure out what this fraction's equal to and is a decimal.
No.
Divide bottom and top.
It's 50. No, 60 something. Point 60
Wait, what are we doing?
0.63. I got
Point
one.
625.
Oh, I put time.
I did that in my head. Is that right? Oh my gosh.
Okay, that, or if you're rounding 2 decimal places, okay, as long as they're close, like 0.01 off or something like that, okay, because of the sake of rounding, okay, then it's correct.
How'd you get that number?
You divide bottom and then top.
The negative 5 divided by 8.
Oh.
Fractions.
Scary. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to do more problems like this, okay, tomorrow. There's only 3 even ones in your book, which is why I did this one, and because it's, yeah, anyways. I may do one other one from the guided practice in your book. And then we'll do a little bit tomorrow, a little bit more, and then you'll have that time to work on these tomorrow.